Okay, so I was wrong. Like 5 months ago, I made a video about the Ricoh GR4 rumors that was before the Ricoh GR4 was announced, obviously. And I said that I don't think Ricoh GR4 will have a monochrome version. And today I found out through an Instagram post of Ricoh, the official one, that they are in fact producing and in a manufacture process of the Ricoh GR4 monochrome version and an HDF version. Those are two new cameras for the Ricoh GR4, and I had a lot of thought about it, so I thought to make a quick video just to share with you. It's not going to be the technical details. I don't think they ever said anything but that. That the fact that one will be a monochrome sensor and the other one will be HDF, as we know from the Ricoh GR3. For me, it was really surprising to see Ricoh announce this soon to the announcement of the Ricoh GR4, those two new cameras, and it makes me really excited. I just wanted to share with you my thoughts, and please let me know in the comments if you are going to purchase one of those two cameras. I think that the monochrome version is something a lot of people wanted. I said in my video that I don't think that they're going to announce that, but I do hope to see that camera. I think it's not cheap, but it's a very cheap alternative to the ones who want a Leica monochrome camera. I have here the Leica the Leica Q3, which I love. It's the 28mm version, and the Ricoh GR3X 40mm, perfect combination that I talk about a lot in my videos. But I think that there is not really a reason for me, like a person who has the Ricoh GR3 or the Ricoh GR3X, to purchase the Ricoh GR4. It's not really a reason to upgrade. A lot of people argue about that, and I think, of course, there is an upgrade with the sensor and everything, that the change of the dial behind that make it so much more easier than this turning wheel, much more comfortable. I think that a lot of people will try and are trying to find Ricoh GR3 that are still in stock in some places to not pay more for the Ricoh GR4. But now that there is a monochrome version and an HDF one, which I'm less excited about, but maybe I never tried the HDF version of the Ricoh. I never recognized it immediately when I saw a photo of that camera. But the monochrome camera, that's what got my eye and my attention. And I believe that again, it will be in a year from now, in the spring of 2026, the monochrome version. The HDF will be this winter, 2025 winter, if I understood correctly from their official post. And I believe that the monochrome camera, as I said, many people will go and buy that, and I believe it will be a 28mm version, although I don't think they said that. And it's very, very, very interesting for me to try a monochrome camera for the first time, not because of the change of actually the sensor and the image quality. It may sound silly to you, maybe you can relate to that or not, but I think just for this mindset of going in black and white on the street. Because one of my most usable profile of the Ricoh GR3X are the high contrast black and white. I think it's a great profile to go to capture black and white. It does an amazing job. And also I edit it later in Lightroom if I have like more contrast places that I want to emphasize and stuff like that. Just edit it the way I want. I think maybe it will be hard for some people to recognize immediately the difference between Ricoh GR4 high contrast black and white, let's say, or just edit it later in Lightroom, and the regular monochrome camera. Maybe not. I didn't saw this camera yet because it isn't produced. In Leica monochrome version, I do understand why the difference of the sensor matters so much. I'm not a technical person and I don't want to get into the details of the difference between the sensor that is only monochrome and the one that is color. But I want to ask a real question, like if I get a photo in color and I edit it later in Lightroom, there is a way to get to that result of black and white. I'm really wondering, and I think that maybe I can get to the same result, but what I can't do is going on the street with the mindset of taking only black and white photos, only focusing on light and shadow in that way. Because when I go with a GR, even if I put my mode on a monochrome, like a high contrast black and white, I can still, it's possible for me to take a colorful image. If I see an interesting flower, an interesting color, or a person, or some kind of a scene on the street or nature that I want to capture it as I see it, or I want to edit it later in a color profile that I like in my presets, I can do that with a camera, and I can also change the raw file later. Even if I took a black and white photo, I can change it later to color. And going on the street without that capability, is it really restricting or not? Because I thought about it, it's like going to the street with one focal length, like a fixed prime 28mm focal length or a 4D or whatever, and just limit yourself and not use any other zoom type of lens or anything like that. Of course you can crop later, but you get my point. It's a different mindset to go and look for a different result on the street. It's just limiting in a way, but also it's very focusing you on what you want to be the result, if that makes sense. I think, and this is just my prediction, that this camera, the monochrome version of the Ricoh GR4, will be extremely hard to find. Like, it will be out of stock very quickly on the stores, just because how different it is from other gear that we see and use. It's not just a super compact small camera, also monochrome sensor. It's so unique, and I think it's a celebration, like 20 or 30 years for Leica GR series and Ricoh GR series and Ricoh in general. I read it in that post, but it doesn't matter. I think that Ricoh understand, that's the point, that this is a very unique camera that just celebrates the difference of Ricoh from other series. I heard some people saying that having a monochrome camera is kind of a gimmick, and I'm saying that to, of course, not people who shoot only black and white. That's not a gimmick to them, that's a professional gear that they use. But for other people that shoot also in color and want to try a black and white version just because there is a version of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's something that we see a lot lately, that the black and white come back to our life, but this is where we started. This is some kind of a connection we have to older times, to maybe something romantic a little bit, to try to go nostalgic, like backwards, and try something. It's like retro, you know what I'm saying? It sounds like a gimmick, maybe a little bit, and I say that for me, maybe that's a gimmick, but I don't think so. I think it will be very fun and different to go with that mindset, and if that's a gimmick, it's a very fun one, and it's something that I think a lot of people, maybe if they get it, they will get a completely different and beautiful results that they wouldn't get with a profile on the Ricoh GR4 or 3 or whatever. I think it's something that as a photographer you experiment. You have to experiment black and white photography, obviously. I don't think there is any photographer who never thought, maybe I can go black and white forever. I think that's a thought that crossed through all of our minds at some point. Some people stick with it, some people don't. And I think it's something that really worth considering only if you're ready to commit to that process of looking at that way on the street. Just black and white, just light and shadows. My point for this is just that I'm really excited about the monochrome version. About the HDF one, again, it's pretty predictable. I'm not so excited about that. I don't think I'm going to get that version, although it's coming sooner, but I will stick to my Ricoh GR3X for now and the Leica. Obviously, it was very, very smart of Ricoh to announce first the Ricoh GR4 and wait with the other announcement, although we all know that they knew about it and they was going to produce that anyway, this close to the Ricoh GR4 release. But if you already got the Ricoh GR4, I think obviously that's the best camera right now to go for street photography. I say it a lot that if I have to give up on one camera, the Ricoh or the Leica, I would in a great pain let go of the Leica and stick with the Ricoh, just because how much I use it and how much is it fun to use and go on the street or wherever I go. I just take this camera with me everywhere. I'm glad that they're keeping the same design, the same compact format and not changing it, and I'm just really excited about the monochrome version and just the whole Ricoh series going forward. It's something, you know, it get us closer to the X version, of course, later, and it's just really nice to see. I waited for this long time for the Ricoh GR4 and the other things to get out. So anyway, that's just a thought that I had today because I saw this release and I had to share this real quick with you. But please let me know what you think about those two new releases, the Ricoh GR4 or anything. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon in the next video.